Hey, how's it going, everyone? Let's go over today's price action. Let's throw this off to the side for right now. So what we're looking at right here, if you're unfamiliar, is a footprint chart. This is how I read the order flow. What we're looking at is transacted volume. So we're breaking down or looking into each individual candle and are able to see buyers and sellers, where they're positioned and whatnot. If this is new to you and you're unfamiliar with footprint charts, they're very customizable. So go to the home of the YouTube page and I have a video explaining how I have my charts configured. So today's daily plan, as always, I post the parts of it, right, part 1, 2, and 3, on StockTwits as well as the community tab here on YouTube. So please subscribe or follow me there, whichever, to go along. So I took 2 trades. One being near the buy zone, which to the tick is the low of day as of now, and then one at this sell zone. Did not trade over here. I just left after I got these 2 trades off. This one down here was my full normal size. This one was about a quarter normal size, right? Just playing with a little bit of profits of the day, not wanting to go red. So I think we should start with the 30-minute chart. So let's start from the overnight session. As you can see, from 4:30 a.m. to about 8:30ish, we consolidated over here. So what does that mean for us? Well, in consolidation, what happens? Positions are built, right? You'll have traders, computers, whatever, positioning themselves within the current range. Buyers usually at the lows, sellers usually at the highs. And this was the buy zone, right? And for any long-time viewers will know that if I want to go long here, what I want to see is people, retail, usually the majority of buying up here. Why? I want them to be stopped out and I want to enter on their stop out. Now, my long this morning was actually, I believe, I was in the 7:10 5-minute candle. So it was actually in here. I took this trade, took it for, well, actually, let's just pull up the chart, sorry. So let's look at the 5-minute. We'll take a look at this trade first. Here we go. Let's just quickly go over daily plan, should we? All right, so daily plan, I always start with the TPO charts. I'm just going to run through this because it's pretty much the same thing in every video, right? Same thing day in, day out. You need to have a repeatable process. If you can't write down your process on paper, I think it's not rigid and have enough rules. But step 1 always is the TPO charts, also called market profile charts. Things that I'm looking for: the shapes of the overall profiles, the lows, the highs, where value area lows are, value area highs, and points of control. Not only on the individual session when I come in the morning looking at the overnight session, but also relative to what is going or what has happened previous, right? Do we have structure to clean? Are we currently cleaning structure? Are we building balance, trading out of it, accepting over, accepting under, all that types of stuff. And things like the value area highs, value area lows with the points of control and whatnot, they all mean different things, and it allows us to visualize the market auction, right? That's why we use TPOs. Might look a little bit messy here. But yeah. From there, I'll go to, oh, that's a different chart book. 1 second. I'll go to that 4-hour chart, the first chart that we were looking at, and that's always part 2. And I'll dissect that. I'll annotate the TPO. I'll annotate the 4-hour. Do we have a big bid, a big offer? Is one side moving up on the tape, moving down on the tape? Is one side more passive, maybe more aggressive? Do we have a trapped bid, a trapped offer? Do we have gaps in volume that we haven't really traded through? All those different things, we then take all of that context and we layer it on top of what we took from the TPO, and that builds confluence between our tools, right? The more confluence we have at certain levels, right? That's how I build my levels, is confluence between what I see in my tools of TPO and footprint, but also market auction theory, right? And build all of that together. More confluence, the better a zone. And then from there, I'll go to the daily chart, daily footprint chart that is, and I'll do the exact same thing. All right. Bear with me. All right. So this first long. Now, I have a series coming out for the room members. 1 second. Sorry about that. All right. Well, where was I? Oh. So I have a series coming out. I've been jotting down, pretty much key inflection points on the tape, right? This is how I enter. I use the 5-minute mainly and the 30-minute, still cognizant of what's going on my 4-hour chart and my daily chart, right? Looking for distributions if I want to be long, with a proper context, of course. I want to see B-shape profile in my higher time frames, P-shape when I'm looking short. Again, stressing proper context, right? I'm not going short because I see a P-shape distribution on my daily chart. I'm not going long because I see a B-shape distribution on my 4-hour chart. I'm not going long because I see a B-shaped distribution on my daily 4-hour, and there's buying imbalances, right? There's more to it. I'm just simply going over kind of the basics, right? So this tape, I jotted this one down. This would be a really good one to review when we do in the room. This one's a bit more nuanced, right? Normal tapes, something like this is zero prints. No one else is willing to transact down here, buying imbalance, right? That's kind of your usual thing. Something like this, when you see a selling imbalance at the lows, a lot of people will think, that's bearish, right? We're trending down right here for the short bit, right? There's only a 5-minute chart, but people may see this and think, oh, we're going to see continuation. And it's kind of counterintuitive. There's more to it, and you have to know where you are structurally, right? We're not taking buying imbalances because we see it with a zero print. We're not taking shorts with selling balances. Everything has to be, you have to have the proper framework to your trades, whether it be a zero print, buying imbalance, et cetera, but also the context, right? Distributions on your higher time frames, where we are in the auction, what the auction is like, right? If sellers are in control, you can look for dip buys, but it's going to be inherently so much more risky than it would be taking maybe a pop short in that same range, right? Whatever. So I entered here. I took 75% of my position off at 2R. Usually I'll do half off, but this was a pre-market trade. I don't always trade pre-market, but as of recent, I actually have been trading it more than I used to. I used to pretty much not trade it at all, but I was a little bit more on the cautious side, so I took 75% off at 2R, moved my stop to break even after I take my first partial, as always. I took half of my remaining position off at 3R, and then I went all out at 4R. So that was that trade, full size. So at this point, I was pretty much done on the day. I wasn't looking, or it's actually a rule of mine to never allow myself to go red on the day. So if I do make a green trade, even if it's a small one, if it's a super small green trade, then I'm pretty much done for the day, guys. I can't really risk too much to take another trade. But something like this, where I was full size, I was able to make good profit. I can come back and then take a trade, maybe the quarter of my full size. And that's exactly what I did. So now into open. This open auction, I actually jotted this one down. I did not take this trade. Me and a couple of members were talking about it. It was very clean. And we actually all missed it, which stinks, but it is what it is. I do not trade, I try not to trade the first 15 minutes. Rarely I do. I mean, very rarely I will, but a lot of this is just books, repositioning, and stopping out maybe overnight participants, in addition to balancing books and whatnot. Super volatile and a difficult read for me, at least. I don't think there's much edge in that first 5 minutes or so, but dip down and literally 0 lots printed over here at the buy zone, and then we started auctioning up. So at this point, I like it. We have a 0 print on the 5 minute. If I remember correctly, we had exhaustion on the daily, exhaustion on, did I say 30? 5, 30, and 4 hour. But 5:30 and daily. I mean, not 4-hour. We didn't have the cleanest exhaustion on the 4-hour, so I was a little bit more cautious. And then at 10 a.m., that's when the 4-hour candle closes, of course. I was then kind of leaning on a run of the low of day into the zone and continuation until we started transacting down here. So what we see over here, again, without going into crazy amount of detail, but I think we all can see this, is a good amount of volume traded down here, right? We look left, we do still have a good amount of volume down here, but this is the action over here. And this was just a beautiful long entry. This is the one right here that we missed. Double buying balance, zero print, you know, pretty much as clean as it gets. And I was watching this, and yeah, I missed it. I had my mouse hovering over my buy button to mark it in. It was super quick impulse, and by the time, you know, I kind of hesitated a second, and I missed it. If I were to still mark it in, I would have had a bad fill. But it is what it is. I'm not complaining. So after that, it was pretty much off to the races. Leaving it as is, that's fine. And this is where I took this other trade. I took it. We come up here. A seller is clearly active. We can see. And as we were talking about earlier in the video, as we were talking about just now at that buy zone, what do we see? We see an offer starting below where I want to sell, right? Pop up here, stop them out. I enter, mark it in, happen to be exactly on the lower end of the sell zone. This time I took half off at 2R, right? I already banked profits for the day. Getting greedy now, want to have possibly a runner. So half off at 2R, and then I would stop the rest at break even. And that was my trading day, right? After that, you know, I left the desk, took the dog for a walk, right? Not really wanting to stay at screens, or else I'll be itching for another trade where, you know, you want to trade as a career, you book your profits. At least this is what I think. You book your profits and you leave. You don't want to be stuck glued to screens. That's the reason why we trade. The reason why I trade is to have the flexibility to do what you would like for your time. So, yeah. Again, I think I have stock twits open. Let me pull it up. If you guys are interested in this approach, I use TPO charts, of course, footprint charts, footprint, you know, order flow, whatever you would like to call it, and market auction theory. I'll leave a link to my website in the description. Again, I have a small room, you know, it's very small. There's a few of us, just like-minded traders. And this is that daily plan, right? I was talking about how I annotate the charts. And this is kind of what it looks like on the 4-hour charts and the daily charts and the TPOs. Well, on a TPO chart, right? So there's that as well. If you're already a profitable trader, want to compare your readings to the market, to my own, or for whatever reason you want to just have those annotations, it's like it is $15 a month, and you'll have access to the daily plan tab in the Discord only, and you will see that. But apart from that, I hope you guys all had a great day today, and I'll see you in the next recap.